Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, I'm going to talk about if there is a duplicate record in a table, then how we can identify and remove the duplicate records. Here, I'm using Oracle database. In Oracle database, we have EMP table and EMP number is the primary key column. And for the demo purpose, I want to create a new table based on employee table, existing employee table structure and rows. For that, I'm using create table EMP test. EMP test is the new table. I select star from EMP. So I'm executing this command. So what this command does, it creates a new table called EMP test, and that has the column and data from that EMP table. Now let's see what are the columns and records are present in that EMP test table. If you see whatever the columns and records present in the EMP table, all are copied into EMP test table. So this way, if you want to copy data from one table to other table, you can use this command. However, this command does not copy the constraints like primary key, foreign key, check constraint. We'll verify that one as well. There is a table called user underscore constraint that stores, constraint details for all the tables. We can using that we can verify. Select star from user underscore constraint where table underscore name equal to emp. Okay, if you see right, there are two constraints for emp table. One is primary key constraint and another one is foreign key constraint. Now we can check for the emp test table. Here there are no data. That means no constraints are copied from EMP table to EMP test. If you check this table, it has the constraint. Okay, so this using this statement, we can create data structure and rows from one table to other table. But this command does not create any or copy any constraint from one table to other table. Now we'll see is there any duplicate record in that EMP test table or not. How we can check that duplicate records? This already we covered as part of existing SQL aggregate function session. You can refer that video as well. Here in this EMP table, EMP number is the primary key. Using that we can check duplicate records. Select EMP number, count of EMP number from EMP test. Instead of using EMP, I'm going to use EMP test. Group by EMP number having count of EMP number greater than 1. This statement tells whether this EMP test table has any duplicate or not. Here there are no duplicate records. And now, so I'm going to see what are the records present in the EMP test table. If you see this 7839, EMP number is 7839, King, job is a president, and higher rate, this is higher rate, and then salary, this is the salary. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert the same row into that EMP test table. Just I'm creating that no duplicate records in this EMP test table. If you see one record got inserted, now let's see. Here it was 14 rows, now 15 rows. Okay, now I'm executing the statement again. Now this statement tells whether this table EMP test table has a duplicate or not. Now there are duplicate. Okay, so this EMP number has a duplicate and there are two rows. This way we can identify whether the table has duplicate records or not. Right. Now let's see how we can remove this duplicate. Now we have the duplicate record. How we can remove the duplicate records? There are many ways. Just I'm going to talk about only two ways. Using the two methods, we can remove the duplicate records from a table. The first approach is row ID. So what is the row ID? Row ID, just I'm selecting row ID from EMP number, salary from EMP table. So if you see, this is the output we are getting it. So if you look at, this is the row ID. So what is the row ID? Row ID is the permanent. Using this row ID, we can identify that unique record for each row in a database table, and it gives the address for each rows, and it's hexadecimal format. Okay, so using the row ID, we can basically it identifies the unique number to each row, and is in hexadecimal format. And then there is one more called row num. Row, just I'm using this one row num along with the row ID. So if you see, this is the row number. So what is a row num? Row num is a pseudo column that returns number that indicating that order in which the database or Oracle database selects a row from a table. So row number, row num, row ID are pseudo columns, whereas row ID gives that address of the row, and the row num gives returns a number indicating the order which we are writing or the query, right? So that is a row number. If you see here, right, it's for this row it tells that, okay, it returns at 1, for this row returns at 2, for this row returns 3, like that. Whenever we change that query, that row number will change, whereas the row ID does not change. Row ID is permanent in the database. So using this row ID, we can remove the duplicate records. Let's see how we can remove the duplicate records using the row ID. So just what I'm going to do is I'm going to select EMP number, EMP min of row ID, then count of EMP number from EMP test table, group by EMP number, or I can see count of row ID as well. Yeah. So if you see, right, okay, so for this EMP number, this is the min of row ID and the count is 1, like that. That means for this EMP number, there are no duplicate record. Whereas if you see this 7839, for this EMP number, this is the min of row ID and there are two row IDs. There are two row IDs. So using this, we can remove that, one row from that employee table. Let's see how we can do this one. So what we can do is we can write simple delete statement, delete from EMP test table, delete from EMP test table, where row ID not in, just I'm selecting from EMP table, group by EMP number. So what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to, that means, see, for this EMP number, there are two row IDs. So basically what we want to do, we want to remove any one of the rows. So in this case, we can use min of row ID or max of row ID. So two rows means one is minimum value and another is maximum value, right? Using that concept, just we are taking the minimum one and removing the min of row ID. So based on the row ID, we are removing the record, right? Now, just here what I'm doing, select deleting from EMP table, EMP test table, where row ID not in. Here I'm selecting EMP number. So just we have to remove this. Just so select here inside this query, what I'm doing, select min of row ID from EMP test table, group by EMP number. So EMP number is the primary column. Right now there is no primary column in this table, but EMP number is one of the primary key column. So what I'm doing, select min of row ID. I'm selecting only the min of row ID by grouping that EMP number. In that outer query, what I'm doing, delete from the EMP test table where row ID not in. Then select min of row ID from EMP test, group by EMP number. This is the way we can remove the duplicate records. If you see, So one row got deleted. So the concept is right. Row id assigns unique number for each row in a table, and using that we can remove the duplicate record. Okay, so here that employee number is kind of the primary key. So we are grouping by employee number, and for each employee number, if there is a duplicate record, we'll get row id, right? So we can select either min or max of row id, and after that in that outer query we can use delete from the emp test table where row id not in, and then use this statement. Using this way, we can remove the duplicate records from that emp test table. Okay, so this is one of the way we can remove the duplicate rows. There is another way. So other way is row underscore number. So using row underscore number, we can remove the duplicate records. So what is a row underscore number? This also we covered as part of the previous SQL analytic functions. So row underscore number is the analytic function that assigns a sequential unique integer to each row. So that is the row number. Now let's see how we can remove the duplicate records using the row underscore number. So here I'm writing select here I'm selecting row id, comma emp number. Here I'm using row underscore number over partition by emp number, because emp has the duplicate record, so we have to use partition by emp number. In some cases, right, that primary key would be that composite primary key. In this case, there could be more than one column. So in that case, we have to use all the columns as part of the partition by class. So partition by emp number, order by emp number. I'm giving alias as a rank from emp test table. So what it does, anyway, from the previous statement we removed the duplicate records, right? Right now this emp table does not have any duplicate records. Just for again the demo purpose, I'm inserting duplicate record into emp test table. Right now, if you see, we have the duplicate records in emp test table. Now I'm going to delete the duplicate records using row underscore number and row id concept. So if you see, right, so it tells that, okay, so basically the row number assigns unique row number, unique integer number to each row, right? So based on this condition here, what is the condition? Partition by emp number. So this is the emp number, and order by emp number. So this is 1, like that. Okay, so for this emp number, this is the rank is 1. For this, just it assigns unique row number based on these conditions, right? If you look at for the row for that emp number 7839, there are 2 rank, because this emp number has duplicate records. So this gives overall the rank for all that emp number. Now what I'm going to do is, right, just we need to select only one record. Here the 2 records are there. Instead of selecting we need only one record, because one record is a duplicate record, so we need to select only one record. So for that, what we can do is we can use select star from. Here we can use the where class where rnk rank is equal to 1. Just we need to select only r greater than 1. Okay, that means it tells which employee number has the duplicate. So it returns this employee number, and this is the row id. Okay, and there are 2 rows, 2 ranks for this one. Now what I'm going to do is, right, we are going to remove this record from that emp test table. So for that, again I'm using delete from which table? I'm using emp test table. Delete from emp test table where row id. Here just I'm selecting only the row id. So in this outer query, just again I need to select only the row id. Inside this query, I'm selecting all the columns like row id, emp number, and row number. Just for understanding our purpose, I'm using this emp number. But in that outer query, I'm just using only that row ID. So where row ID in, just we are keeping it. Okay. So this tells that what is which employee number as the duplicate record. So we are going to keep only that row ID and then remove all other row IDs. So then, so one row got deleted. So this is another way of deleting the duplicate records from that EMP or EMP test table. Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone.